This is a full webinar email sequence for your Zoom webinars with confirmation, reminder, and follow-up emails, all sent from HubSpot, fully branded with a unique personalized join link for every single registrant. By the end of this video, you will have this exact setup working. Okay, let's start with why you even want to move your emails from Zoom to HubSpot. Let's open Zoom Webinars emails. I'm going to edit one of them. I mean, look at this. This is what your registrants get by default. A plain text email from noreply@zoom.us, zero branding, you can't change the font, you can't change the layout, you can barely touch the copy here in the email body. That's all Zoom gives you. You are spending time and money running webinars to build trust and show up professionally, and then Zoom sends this sad little email on your behalf. It's just not great. So yes, moving these emails from Zoom to HubSpot is absolutely worth it. Quick side note before we get started, if you haven't committed to Zoom yet or you are open to switching, check out Contrast. It's a webinar platform built specifically for HubSpot users. It sends fully branded emails with calendar invites and it's rated #1 in HubSpot Marketplace. But if you are already running Zoom webinars and need to make this work, let's keep going. So before we do anything, let's make sure you actually have everything you need. First, your Zoom HubSpot integration must already be connected. If you haven't done this yet, we do have a separate video covering this. You can check it out later. Next, you need to make sure you have Zoom Webinars add-on because this only works with Zoom webinars, not regular Zoom meetings. And the last thing you need to check is your HubSpot subscription. So we're going to send some automated emails through workflows, and for that, you're going to need a professional or enterprise subscription. The rest we're going to just build together. There is one thing that makes this whole setup way more complicated than it should be, and it's also the reason a lot of HubSpot experts say just use Zoom's emails. So when someone registers for your Zoom webinar, Zoom generates a unique join link just for them. It's how Zoom tracks attendance, knows who showed up and who didn't. So you can't just paste a single Zoom link into your HubSpot email. If you do that, multiple people will be showing up under the same identity, then Zoom's attendance tracking will break and you lose all the data you actually need. So to make this work, you need every person's unique link inserted into their specific email. The order of the steps here matters a lot, so you need to pay attention. First thing we need to do is to create a custom contact property to store each person's unique join link. We need to do this before we create the workflow, so the workflow has somewhere to put the link. To create a custom contact property, go to your HubSpot account. In the top, you have the settings icon. Click on it. Then scroll down to Data Management, click Properties. In the right side, you have Create Property button. Click on it. We need to give a name. So I'm going to call it a webinar, how to use event data inside HubSpot. This is actually my webinar name. And join URL. Then we're going to keep the field type single line text. And there is nothing else we need to do here. So I'm going to click Create Property. You'll need to create a new property for each webinar you run. You cannot reuse the same property. HubSpot actually has a built-in last registered Zoom webinar property, but it gets overwritten every time the same contact registers for a new webinar, which creates a mess if someone is in multiple webinars at once. That's why your own dedicated property per webinar is cleaner and it's more reliable. Now let's go ahead and create our workflow. To create a workflow in HubSpot, go to the left navigation menu, find Automation, then click Workflows. In the top right corner, you have Create Workflow button. Click on it and select From Scratch. Here we need to set our enrollment trigger. We need to tell HubSpot which leads need to go through this workflow. Our enrollment trigger for this workflow is a form submission. If you don't have your form ready or you don't know how to create one, we do have a separate video covering this. You can watch it later. Now to set the enrollment trigger, I'm going to select this Met Filter Criteria. Select Contact because it's a contact-based workflow. Then I'm going to search for form submissions and select the form that you need. For me, it's the webinar registration form. Here, if your form is on a specific landing page, you can also filter it here. Click this Refine by Page Location and select the landing page where your registration form is in. Now we don't need this, so I'm going to remove it. Let's click Next. and save and continue. Next, we need to set up the action. Our action here is going to be a delay. Why we are doing this? Because sometimes the contact record needs a second to fully update before the next step runs. It's a small thing, but it prevents the issues. So click on this drop down. I want for a set amount of time. I'm going to set it to 2 minutes and click save. Now we need to register these people to our Zoom webinar. So click this plus button again. Scroll all the way down to integrated apps, click Zoom, and select add contact to Zoom webinar. Here you will need your webinar ID. I'm going to go back to Zoom, go to webinar details and copy the ID. Now let's go back to the workflow and I'm going to paste the ID under the value. Make sure you remove the space and click save. This step is where Zoom registers the contact and generates the unique join link. The join link does not exist before this step runs. This is why the order of operations is so important. The confirmation email must come after this step, not before. So now we need to turn these contacts into marketing contacts to be able to send them emails from HubSpot. So click on plus button again here. Search for set marketing contact. Here under marketing, select it, and under marketing contact status, open the drop down and select set as marketing contact. We're going to save this and move on. Our next action is going to be to copy the join URL into our custom property. I'm going to click on plus again, then search for edit record. Here, select it. The record type should be contact, then property to edit should be the custom contact property that we created. It was called webinar, then my webinar name. Change type should be replace. Then under choose a value, you will see the option to pull from a previous workflow step. We need to select the add contact to Zoom webinar. And from this step, we need to select join URL as the value to copy. So let's select it and click save. This is actually one of the most tricky and buggy part in Zoom HubSpot integration. Sometimes the Zoom sync fails silently. With silently, I mean without any notification or without any warning, and a small number of contacts don't get added. They don't even receive your emails. I recently saw an example from a HubSpot community member. Someone ran a webinar where they had 20 registrants, and 5 of them didn't get added to Zoom, and they didn't even receive any confirmation or reminder emails. To protect against this, you can add an if-then branch after the copy action. I'm going to show you how it will look. So you can click on plus button again, then click the branch, one property or action output. Here we need to select the custom property we created. Here we go. Click next. Here we're going to set if custom contact property is empty. We want to do the actions again. So let's save it. The first option, if it's empty, we want to repeat the process again. So let's click on this plus button, then edit record. We need to repeat the same thing again. So choose a property. We're going to select the same property. Choose a value, add contact to Zoom webinar, and select join URL. Click save. So if you really want to protect against this bug, let's say, you can create this branch, but I'm going to remove it for now. Remove all actions, save. Now that we have the unique join URL, we need to create the confirmation email, or if you already have one, we need to edit it and add the unique join URL personalization token there so people can actually access the webinar. To create your email or edit the one that you already created, go to the left menu, navigate to marketing, and click email. To create a new email, in the top right corner, you have the Create Email button. Click on it and select the automated option because automated emails are the ones that can be used in workflows. Now I'm going to go back because I already have my confirmation email ready. I just need to edit it. So I'm going to click Edit button. Here, wherever you want to add the unique join link, you can click on that part. I actually want to add a button. So I'm going to drag and drop the button module. Let's change the color to match our brand. Then let's go to content. And under link URL, you can see you have the personalized button. Click on it. Type should be a contact because it's a custom contact property that we created. And the token should be the property that we created. So it's called webinar, then webinar name, join link. Here we need to set the fallback value. This is actually what shows if the token is empty for any reason. I'm going to add check your email from Zoom for your join link, something descriptive, so it helps actually people. Then select insert. Now our email is ready. Update your email. And let's go back to our workflow. Now we can add our next action, which is to send the email we just edited. So again, click on this plus button and search for send email action. Here we need to select the email we want to send. Select the confirmation email. You will have a small preview. Then click save. There is also one more thing to keep in mind. HubSpot doesn't natively support calendar invites like Zoom does. So if you want to include an add to calendar link to your email, you'll need to use external tools like Add Event or Event Table to generate calendar links for Google, Outlook, or Apple Calendar. This is also one reason to get a webinar platform that does all this automatically. After the confirmation email is sent, we need to set up the reminder emails. So reminder emails are actually the easy part because the join URL is already saved on the contact record. We just need to add some delays and more email sends inside this same workflow. Just make sure you added the personalization token inside your reminder email so people can actually join the webinar. So we need to add the delay after confirmation email. Click on this plus button. Select delay. Our webinar is scheduled for April 2nd. So we want to remind people about the webinar one day before. Click on this drop down until a calendar date. And let's select the date. It's going to be April 1st. And the time I want to send the email at 2 p.m. I'm going to use the account time zone, and I'll also create a branch from this step. Let's click save so I can show you how it looks and why we are creating the branch. Here we have two options. First, we have people who signed up before our delay date, which is April 1st, 2 p.m. We want to send our first reminder email to these people. And for people who signed up after the delay date, we don't want to do anything for now. Let's create our action. It's going to be send email. Select your email template and click save. From here, we need to add another delay. We want to send our second reminder email, of course. It's going to be, again, until calendar dates. It will be on the day of the webinar. And our webinar is scheduled at 10 a.m. I'm going to send the second reminder 1 hour before the webinar, 9 a.m. I'll keep again the account time zone, and we also need to create another branch. Click save here. Here we need to consider that we may have leads that signed up between our first and second reminder dates. We still want to send the second reminder to these people. That's why we need to connect this. Click plus, then click go to action and select the delay and click done. If people signed up between April 1st, 2 p.m. and April 2nd, 9 a.m., we're still going to send them the second reminder email. So click the plus, send email, select the second template, and click save. That's it. Our confirmation and reminder emails are ready. We can review and turn on our workflow. I'm going to skip to turn on. Turn on workflow. And now we can go ahead and create our follow-up emails. Follow-up emails work a bit differently. You can't send them from the same registration workflow because you don't know who attended until the webinar is over. Let's go back. Again, in the top right corner, you have Create Workflow button. Click on it and select from scratch. This is also going to be a contact-based workflow. And our trigger is going to be webinar registration first. Search for webinar registration. Select the Zoom webinar registration event. Then we need to add a criteria. You can select either webinar ID or webinar name. I'm going to go ahead and select the ID. And the value should be exactly the ID from Zoom. You need to make sure you removed all the spaces and click Done. Now we can click Next. Here, let's add another condition. Scroll down to Marketing Events. From here, we need to select people who didn't attend our webinar. So choose Attended Marketing Event. And here we need to change the filter, so has not been completed. This looks correct. Now let's click Next, save and continue. Now let's send our email. So search Send Email, click on it and select your follow-up email. Here, I have follow-up email. Click Save. You can create a similar workflow for those who did attend your webinar, sending them, of course, a different email. You just need to replicate the whole thing and change this filter. If you come here, you remember we set this to attended marketing event has not been completed. If you edit this criteria, click on it, you can change this filter to has been completed. Once you're happy with the settings, you can click on Review and Turn On button to publish your workflow. And next, we need to turn off our Zoom's default emails. This is something everyone forgets, and then they wonder why my registrants are getting 2 confirmation emails and 2 reminder emails. This is why. Go to your Zoom account, then navigate to Email Settings. Let's start from the confirmation email. On the right side, you have the Edit button. Click on it. And uncheck the Send Confirmation Email to Registrants box. Click Save. You need to check this for both reminder and follow-up emails. I don't think I set them up. Yeah, I don't have them. Let's just double check. Yeah, I don't have this either. Everything looks correct. Just remember, you need to do this only after you have tested your HubSpot workflow end-to-end and confirmed that everything is working properly. Don't turn off Zoom's emails before you have verified your HubSpot emails are actually sending the exact and correct join links. All right, that's the whole setup. I told you it was tricky, and now you know exactly why it's tricky and how to handle it. A quick recap of what we covered today. So we covered how to move Zoom webinars confirmation, reminder email, and follow-up emails from Zoom webinars to HubSpot. It sounds so easy now, but as you could see, there are lots of steps involved in order to achieve this. And if all of this sounds too much for what you are trying to do, I recommend you to check out Contrast. It's a webinar platform built for HubSpot users with branded emails, calendar invites, and personalized links, all automated. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.